Howie MacDonald on fiddle tonight, and Beverly MacLean on piano. Ladies and gentlemen,
hello.
to be here. And And want to welcome one and all here to our Wednesday night Ceilidh. It's a bit of a different Ceilidh here tonight at the Admiral here in Port Hood. And on behalf of Coast na Gaelic, the Gaelic College, and Bain Vavo, I want to say thank you to Charlie MacDonald, the owner, and Katrina, the general manager, and all the staff here for the warm welcome, and all of you for coming out tonight as well. And we'll have about an hour of tunes on our live stream, and then we'll have some tunes to follow. So please, if you're looking for a place for music or a fine place to have a nice bite to eat in the next, in the upcoming spring and summer and the fall, take a look here at the Admiral. I know they have lots of plans for music and such, and for other events for locals as well. So I encourage everyone to support the Admiral as they support our local music scene. And it's one of our places for Kitchen Fest, which takes place from June 28th to July 6th. I'll have more to say about that after a bit. So Fáilte, Fesca MacLean, and my name is Rodney MacDonald. I'm president of Coast na Gaelic, and pleased to be here. So Howie. Howie's usually very shy, doesn't have much to say, but tonight he does. So Howie, great to have you.
Thank you, Rodney. Kebra how.
Man. And what's the first set of tunes you played there, Hal? What's
the first set of tunes was the first Strathspey was recorded by Angus Chisholm back in the day, and the first reel was called "The Highland Man That Kissed His Mother," and that's from the Lowe's collection, which is a pretty old collection, and I have the original collection that Winston Fitzgerald had was given to me by a friend of mine, Donnie LeBlanc from Ceilidh. And the third tune was The Maiden Behind the Bar. And the fourth tune was John Howitt's Reel, which I think is 1,000 Fiddle Tunes. And the final tune was Lively Steps by Jerry Holland, all of Key of D.
Nice stuff. And I know Jerry was a great friend of yours, and probably had a huge influence on your music, no doubt.
Yeah. I started listening to Jerry in probably 1976. I had the first album, and Joey, who played the piano, your relative, Joey gave the album to my sister, who worked at the Esso in Port Hastings, and she came to my grandmother's in Troy and said, "Would you like this?" Because she didn't have anything to play it on, so I took it home and I played it and thought it was great. So that was my first introduction to his music, other than watching him on the Cape Breton Symphony on Jan Allen's TV show, right? And he did a solo on that.
And a great composer as well.
Wonderful composer, wonderful musician all around.
Well, I'm not going to do too much talking. We'll have some chat after a bit, asking some questions and such. We're all here to hear the music, and appreciate you taking the time to come over from Westmount, and Beverly as well from Bulladry Island, I guess it would be, or officially, I guess, yeah. And Beverly as well is a great fiddler in her own right as well. So we have two great fiddlers, two great piano players, and I know there's a couple of other guests here tonight we might get some tunes out of as well. And we'll get into that more in a bit. So I'll hand it over to you, Howie.
Okay, let's try a jig in B flat that was written. It's called Debbie's Jig, written by Gordie Sampson's grandfather, Bernie Lee. It was written for Flo Sampson's sister, Debbie, so Gordie's aunt, I guess. And the next tune was written for Lorraine McMaster, Buddy's sister, by myself. Third one was written by Dan R. for Genevieve McMaster back in 1951. I think it was for graduation. And what do we do after that? The Champion, maybe, an F? The Champion Jig, and God only knows. Anyway, so raft of jigs, starting in B flat. Hope y'all like it. Thank you very much.
I guess we'll get into a couple of questions.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the music, Howie, but great stuff. And I know you're well known for your jigs, so I love hearing the jigs. And it's funny we're talking about records, and I remember in the early '80s. Was it '81 or '82 when you were out?
Roughly 84.
It was '84. Okay.
Yeah. November of '84, which would have taken it into '85. But it was late '84.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember my uncle Dorothy MacDonald taking your record home that he got from someone around the mill in Port Oxbury, and us listening. I can still remember the afternoon listening to your record, and of course Jim Morris was on the piano, Morris Rankin, and your cousin Sandy MacDonald on guitar.
Sandy on guitar, yeah. They were very good to work together. They were like bacon and eggs. They were very compatible working. Yeah.
It was Howie MacDonald and his Cape Breton fiddle.
It was.
Yeah.
And Jim Morris and I were kind of wondering. I said, Jim Morris, what do you think I should name this? He said, Elmer Breon had a record called Elmer Breon and his Cape Breton fiddle. He said, what about Howie MacDonald and his Cape Breton fiddle? I said, sounds like good to me, John. Let's go for it, buddy. So that's where that came from.
How many records? How many CDs? I mean, you've had records, tapes, and then of course CDs, and then you're into
Yeah.
so over the last 40 years.
Yeah, it started with vinyl, and then after there was vinyl in '84, '87, and switched to '89. It was cassettes. And then 1991, with Live and Lively, it was CDs and cassettes. And then eventually it became just CDs. And then eventually it became, thumb drives or something? And then it became, there was a DVD in there somewhere. And then eventually it just fizzled out. It's in the ether now.
So how many recordings?
There's around a dozen, I suppose.
About a dozen?
About a dozen, yeah.
And plus, I mean, you've been featured on many others besides that. So
Yeah.
So a dozen records, many East Coast Music Awards, and involved with obviously groups like the Rankins and such, who were Juno and award winners, toured the world, and been playing music your whole life, and now you have another career.
Oh yes, I do. Yes. I went back to school when I was 49, and I got my psychology and master's in psychology. Anyway, I'm a clinical therapist for Nova Scotia Health, and I also work with veterans for healing in Sydney. I'm sorry.
Nice.
And so that's my latest adventure.
The other side to Howie MacDonald.
Yeah.
Okay, Howie, we'll get back to the tunes.
All right. What do you think, Bev? We'll try a tune called The Tweed Side Lasses. I heard Carl Mackenzie play this, I believe, on his first record, and that whole record is amazing. But anyway, it's called The Tweed Side Lasses, and it's quite an old tune. And after that, we're going to go into some old Buddy Strasbays and a couple of tunes that Dave McIsaac recorded for UCCB back in '81, I believe, with Jim Morris. So we'll just try and see how that pans out, Bev. Thank you.
What's you're thinking.
Are you coming back up to ask some more questions?
Why don't I ask Beverly a question? How's that sound?
That sounds
We'll give you a
great.
chance to catch your breath. Great music by Howie MacDonald. Actually, just before I ask Beverly a question, a little commercial for the college and Bain Vabu while Howie's catching his breath and such. So a couple of things on the go. If you're interested in our summer programming, either as a youth or an adult, I encourage you to go to our website at Gaelic College EDU, to those that are here or online. So if you're interested, or maybe you have a child or a grandchild, or a couple wants to come for a week in the summer, it's a great opportunity to take an instrument, whether it's fiddle or piping or piano or guitar or boron, whatever it might be in the summer, or weaving or step dancing or Highland dancing or Gaelic language, of course, and Gaelic song and more. And you can be a complete beginner, and it's a great educational week and a lot of fun. So, and you get entertained every day at lunchtime by the instructors, as well as on Wednesday night at our Ceilidh that's on site. So the sessions are filling up fast. So I'm just saying that to anybody that's watching tonight for the Ceilidh. If you are signing up someone, like your child or grandchild, the weeks are filling up. And I know at least in the first 2 weeks of our youth programming, the rooms are now filled. And so you can come as a day student, and on the third week it's starting to fill up very fast. So Margie Beaton, our Director of Marketing and School, wanted me to make sure that I mentioned that tonight. And but there's still time, there's still openings. As well, if you know of someone that's interested in being a student at Bain Vabu, and we have a Bachelor of Arts in Community Studies in conjunction with Cape Breton University, and applications are open there, as well as bursaries. So if you want to take, we'll have our first year and second year program there. And I have no doubt that in a couple of weeks, some of our students, they're still on site, some of them, and there's more coming in September, and we're growing on the site, which is very exciting. There's going to be sessions here on Wednesday nights, starting in 2 weeks. So, you know, there's lots of great places around Cape Breton. That's great news. And hats off to the tavern, to the Admiral, for getting those going. And so 7:30, I believe it is, but check their Facebook page and you get all the information about the Admiral. So 7:30, and there's lots of great places around Cape Breton, whether it's at the Wakagama Waterfront Center or the Blue Mist or the Frolic Folk. I think they may have set sessions. What's Island Folk Cider House, another great place for sessions, and I believe Ryan McNeil and maybe Boyd are involved in those. So, and of course, Andrakich, Mabel Gaelic and Historical Society, the Portunaga every 2 weeks, and they have another one coming up next week. So that's on Thursday nights and during the winter time. But in 2 weeks' time, starting here at 7:30, take your fiddle, take your guitar, you know, whatever it might be, and there's going to be some great entertainment, lots of fun. So especially if you're in this particular area, take out an instrument, or if you want to travel across the island, great spot to go on a Wednesday night. So Beverly, so piano, and I may have asked you this before, but who taught you how to play the piano, and who taught you how to chord? And I'm proud to say you're an alumni of the Gaelic College as well.
I sure am. I guess the very first experience I had, my mom was teaching at the same elementary school that I went to, and she used to send me to piano lessons at lunchtime with a $2 bill. And just down the street from the school, I used to have my first piano lessons during lunch hour. And that was, oh gosh, that's not yesterday. But in terms of the Cape Breton style, I think I had a piano teacher named Teresa Degas, and she got me to play, it was a fiddle tune out, and it had the left hand included. And once I started that, there was no turning back. I didn't want to hear anything about Lila Fletcher or any note reading. As more of an ear player, I always used to get the piano teacher to play the piece of music first and then play it back at them. So I'm still not a great note reader, but it's coming. I guess Stephanie Wills was my starting point.
Yeah.
She was teaching at Take Note Music in Sydney with Cindy Allen, who just recently
She's influenced a
passed.
lot of fiddlers and piano players.
Yeah, so I got to do both fiddle and piano through Stephanie. And then, of course, I had some time at the Gaelic College, but actually Rodney was my step dancing teacher when I was 10.
I was not
He
much
was
older
so
than that.
young then, he was just so
Yeah.
young then. And but I think recently though, I can really credit a lot of people like Hilda Chesson
Chesson,
and
yeah.
Marion Dewar, definitely.
Mary Dewar, yeah.
Oh
from,
yeah, really, and
Ohio
Dewar,
or
of
St.
course.
Joseph's,
Yeah,
Yiddish,
yeah. Really great folks to learn things from. They've been very patient with me. So it's sort of been piecemeal all over the place, but that's.
Seems to be the way for a lot of piano players, right? You learn the basics, but then you need a lot of different influences and watching people, listening to tunes.
Yeah, and I haven't learned a thing from Howie.
And no, I don't
Nothing.
imagine.
Nothing, not a one. No, it is. It's true. There's a lot of listening involved, and sometimes you have to just get home and get ugly with it yourself, and hope for the best when you get on stage.
It's good advice, though, to young people, too, right? Because if you keep on practicing, and I tell my own kids that if you keep on practicing, and I often hear Mary Elizabeth McGuinness say that, anybody can learn how to play an instrument or anything. It's just a commitment to keep on and really work at it. And it might take a little longer, or for some than others, but
Absolutely, that goes for anything.
Yeah, it's really most people just haven't had the chance to try it.
No,
or
that's
had
right.
lessons. And
At the very core of it all, the thing that's most important, it sounds a little cliche, is that you should be having fun and not worrying about everything else. Just have fun.
Exactly. Well, it's good advice. And so if you want to be a great piano player, go to the Gaelic College.
Definitely.
And if you want to be a great fiddler, go to the Gaelic College. And but you can. It really is great because I saw kids during March break. We had about 150 kids, and in the 3 days they had about 15 lessons. But they were exposed to a lot of music outside of that. And in the summer, it's 25 lessons in a week. And you know how long that takes. In the winter time, if you're trying to get that many lessons. But you can take a Gaelic class and then go to a fiddle class, and you get exposure to different things and hear different ideas. So.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's just nice, I know, like as a youth going through, and maybe you could speak to it too, is that it's nice to find other kids that like the same things that you do, because you might not have, I know I certainly didn't have a lot of kids in my neighborhood, period, but none that really played the style of music, so it was nice to go and find, your friends that do the same thing.
Excellent. Okay, well, what's next, Hal?
That's all right. I see my cousin Harvey down there. Hi, Harvey. My cousin Brent, nephew Ian. My cousin Dougie wrote a tune for Harvey, and we recorded it back in 1993. And I ran across it a couple of weeks ago, and I tried to learn it. So I'm going to try to play it. It's a beautiful Strasberg. And it's an A minor. And let's just go with the Strasberg and see what happens. Anyway, it's called Harvey Beaton Strasberg. Wonderful tune.
It's a great cut. Live from the Admiral here in Port Hood. Let's put our hands together for Howie MacDonald and Beverly MacLean.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. We'll give Beverly a break there. And we'll get my nephew Ian from Mabu, Ian McCory. Ian's a good piano player, good fiddle player, good step dancer. And we're going to get him up to play a few tunes. And we're going to play the Anne-Marie Barry set, which is, first tune was written for Anne-Marie Barry, obviously. And second tune, Anne-Marie used to come to me for piano lessons probably 35 years ago. And we would laugh and we would laugh for about a half an hour, and I'd give her $10 back and she would go home. And then the tune after that is Francis O'Coin's jig. Francis was from Shettycamp, but he happened to live at the top of our street. So he would drop in and he would play, and Francis laid the cement floor in my garage, and he wouldn't take any money, so I wrote him a tune called Francis O'Coin's Jig. And he cried, and he cried, and he cried. But there were happy tears. And one after that, I guess Mike Saunders' Swinging On Home by Joan Bowes. And we'll see where we end up. Okay, Ian McCory.
Yeah.
Thanks to Howie, and thanks to Ian McCoy, one of the great up and young coming piano players that we have, and doing fantastic on the keys. So, round of applause for Ian. Yeah, and it's great to see how well he's doing, and
Yeah.
the music's just in him. You can see it,
Yeah.
of course.
He's coming along like a house on fire. Ever since he quit everything else, the music's been great. No, Ian's he's a pilot now. He's flying planes around the sky, and he's piloting it pretty high.
Oh, he's doing great, and of course he has music on of course through your people, of course,
Yeah.
through his mom's people, and through your mom, who's I know an influence on your own music. She took you and Brian and other people everywhere, following the Cape Breton Fiddlers and other groups like that.
Yeah, we were, kids. We used to go to the Eastern Tech, I guess it'd be Marconi and then CBU or whatever. And my first teacher was Malcolm Campbell from, he was a great Gaelic speaker. He was a little bit crippled. He used to have a shoestring around his violin. And I remember the first tune was The Irish Washerwoman. He was a pretty stern guy, but a nice guy. And so I would learn it by ear and then come back the next week and pretend that I was reading it. And then Malcolm would continue to just teach us how to curse. So that's where we learned how to curse. Anyway, after that it was Malcolm, Eddie Rogers, Sandy McGuinness, and we obviously went to the Fiddlers Association gatherings where they would have buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken, which was just unbelievable for a kid, 10 years old. And that led into the whole Glendale, Vantage Cape Breton Fiddler whole thing. So it kind of stemmed all the way from there. And like my mother's parish was in Glendale, so she was very tied into the situation. And my father grew up just down the road here in Troy. So we spent most of our free time, summers and holidays, either in Troy or out near Glendale. And very lucky, lots of spaces, snowmobiles, horses, haymaking, music and dances. And when we were too young to get in, my mother and father would park up beside the hall where there was an open window and we could hear Buddy and Betty Lou playing. And my sister and I from the back seat.
Nice.
So we go back pretty far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's great though, because it speaks to, so Malcolm McEachern, did you say?
Malcolm Campbell.
Malcolm Campbell.
Yeah, Malcolm was...
Where was he from, Howie?
Well, he lived in Sydney River, but I'm sure his roots are probably
Somewhere
on
in
this
rural
side
part.
somewhere. Because he was a great Gaelic speaker, no doubt a great Gaelic singer as well. And he had a wicked sense of humor.
Well, if someone knows online, they can make a comment on the live stream. We'll find out exactly where he grew up. And you mentioned the Cape Breton Fiddlers, and of course we have Father Eugene. And Frankie McGuinness here, who, amongst others in the room, that were very influential in helping get the Cape Breton Fiddlers' first concerts going back in the early 70s.
And they were just so much fun. I mean, the fields were full of cars, and if they really liked what you were doing, they would honk the horn and blink the lights. Right? And it would all lead up to the end of Archie Neal used to say, the granddaddy of them all is Broad Cove. And that was the last one of the summer. That would hold us over till the next year. But, oh my gosh, St. Joseph's Des Moines, and
Big Pond,
and even over in PEI, Rolla Bay.
Yeah.
And Iona. There was something going on almost every night when we were kids.
A little shout out to all those festivals, and it's great to keep them going. So whether it's Rolla Bay, PEI that's going on this summer, or of course Broad Cove, Glendale as part of Kitchen Fest on July 6th.
Kitchen Fest, that's right, Rodney.
Yeah, Saturday, July 6th, Glendale concert. So keep that marked on your calendar. And that's always a great time, and they have a dance that night as well, and we'll be announcing the music for that, and they do a lot of work for that. And the other ones, here in Port Hood, of course, You have Chestigo Days and Mabukeli Days and Judig on the Floor, and you know the list goes on. All through the island.
The boat race or the boat parade, yeah.
The boat parade, yes, on Sundays.
Wait for that. Jim
So,
Morrison, huh?
one of the things I do want to mention as well, I can't forget the live stream here, and appreciate any donations that perhaps were left at the door tonight. We appreciate that very much. Those online, we really appreciate any donations that we receive online. They keep our Ceilidhs going, and they keep our programming going. So we are a not-for-profit charitable foundation, and I'll put my college hat on. And so a little commercial there. If you're so inclined online, and you can make a donation, Ryan, I'll put the information up online. We really appreciate it because it does keep things going, and we want to keep Ceilidhs going through the winter. And so we'll be back in mid-April, back on the college. But in the upcoming weeks, we're planning on heading to the Inverary Manor for one of our Ceilidhs coming up. And so that's coming up in the next week. And then we're going to be in Victoria County at not too far down the road from the Gaelic College at a local house, one of our employees at Gail and John Montgomery's. And then and we have some other plans as well on another part of the island before we head back on site at the college. So if you're ever at the college, for those that are here or online, on a Wednesday night between mid-April until Christmas, come to a Wednesday night Ceilidh, and it's always a really nice time to be there live. And in the summer, our instructors do the Ceilidhs when school's on, so you get a lot of entertainment. And if you look at the list of instructors, you'll see. So what about, speaking of visitors and such, we have an artist in residence program at Bain Vabu, the old convent in Mabu. And lots of exciting things happening there, as I mentioned. And we have an artist in residence program. And one of our artists in residence is here tonight with us. We have Brandon Begley, Brendan O'Begley. And Brendan is here with his accordion, a very well-known Irish player coming from just west of Dingle, I believe you said, Brendan, I have that correct? Yeah, and just got back from New York and played a performance down there. And we're going to get him up tonight to play a tune on this accordion. So let's put our hands together for Brendan. Give him a Port Hood welcome. We're here at the Admiral. And we'll give Howie a little break. And
Ian, you're going to come up and play, or does Beverly want to play?
or he's just going to...
Or are you going to play by yourself? Well, I don't know, but I'm just going to watch.
So we'll get Howie going to jump on the piano with him? Yeah? Okay, great. And I'll set up the mics. And so he's, Brendan is with us for 6 weeks. And next week, Wednesday night, I believe it is, Brendan, you're showing a film. I think there's a film being shown about, or Kenneth is showing. Kenneth McKenzie is our director and VP at Bain Vabu. There's a film being shown at Bain Vabu. So Wednesday night next week, if you're by, watch the Facebook page and some advertising, and you can come and watch a film about. I believe you were making a boat for some boats traveling around. I don't know enough about it to speak to it, so I'm going to hand the mic over to Brendan, and I'm going to get the other microphone stand. Just 1 second.
Shut that thing off.
Do please. Well, I was over in Ian's house there 2 weeks ago, and I played a waltz by John Sheehan, so I'll start with that. And John Sheehan is the only surviving member of the Dubliners, and I don't think he started drinking until he was in his 60s, maybe that's one of the reasons. But he's a gentleman, he's in his 80s and still playing and composing. And this is a waltz that he composed. and it's he called it Autumn in Paris. That's one of my favourite waltzes, and he really got it. You think you're in Paris? It's like you'll all be speaking French by the time this waltz is over. I'll just play it a few times. There's a queer note in it. I don't know what it is. I'm sure you'll find it. I hope I play it when I'm supposed to play it. Here goes. Sorry for hitting you with that one. I blame Ian. Right, I chance a few hornpipes. I can't think of the names of them.
Well, special thanks to Brendan Begley, Dingle, just west of Dingle. Now, Brendan just came back from playing at Carnegie Hall in New York, and with Rose Morrison that used to work at us at the college in Victoria County. So, anyway, we're very fortunate to have him, and the students are very fortunate to have the quality of himself and the other artists in residence. So, thanks again, Brendan, for being with us here at Cape Breton, and we hope you come back. So maybe we'll.
Play the tune, Beverly?
Okay. So no. What we'll do is, do you want to?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go for?
We'll play one more selection.
Okay, so we're going to get Howie to play another selection, and then we'll have a little finale, and then after that we'll continue the tunes after the live stream. So one more selection from Howie, and get Beverly back up on the piano, and then we'll have a little finale with the 3/5. Brendan. Begley.
Thanks, Brendan. Wonderful music on the accordion. Sorry about my flubs there, but it sounded great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we're getting close to the end. Beautiful tunes and what did you play? Miss Lyle at the beginning. I think it was it?
Miss Lyle, yes.
Miss Lyle, and did some real traditional stuff and beautiful stuff. And of course, Harvey beat. Get up and did some steps.
There you go.
Cousin Harvey. So thanks to Harvey for the great steps, as always. And no. And then we have Father Eugene here, who's been a great influence on many, many dancers, including people like Harvey and myself and many others. And I want to acknowledge that here tonight because, and he and Mary Janet as two great examples. And we have other musicians like Catherine Howie here and others that have had a great influence on our music around the island. So hats off to you guys and to others. And others that help carry the music along, like Bill MacDonald. Oh yes, and I'm reminded, and a little thank you to Tammy MacDonald as well, Mary Janet and Ceilidh, who I was connecting with, along with of course Katrina and Charlie here and such, about having this here tonight. So I want to thank the Admiral once again. A round of applause for the staff here, and the ownership, and the general manager for the effort. They're putting a great effort in, and they're doing improvements to the building. For those that haven't been in a little while, new flooring and some new paint and some other things that are happening. So come out and support the Admiral here and get a bite to eat and listen to the music. This Saturday is Doyle and Company, Brian Doyle, and his band is here 9 o'clock Saturday night. And I mentioned the sessions in 2 weeks on Wednesdays, 7:30. And of course, next week, in between all that, there's a fundraising concert here in Port Hood at the Parish Hall. And I believe it's the CWL, is that correct? CWL is leading the charge on that. And it is at 7:30? 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock at the Port Hood Parish Hall, and there's loads of great entertainment, so too many to list here tonight. And take a look on Facebook, and take a look online, and local papers, and the posters and such. But you'll be supporting a great cause put on by the CWL. Anything else I need to say about that, Mary Janet? No? Okay, Mary Janet, I know is involved with the committee, and they're doing great work on that. So. And I know there's a couple of Vane Valley students, I think, going to be showing up there as well for that. So, maybe we'll do a little finale.
Yeah, for sure, buddy.
We're going to get, what's that? We'll get Ian back on the piano. We'll get Beverly to grab her fiddle. I'll grab my fiddle. We'll do a quick little set of tunes. And we're getting towards the end of our Ceilidh. I want to thank everybody for joining us online. I want to thank you that joined us live here. And again, if you're so inclined, those online, if you want to make a donation, and if you don't know how to do it online, please contact us. And Ryan MacDonald's doing the live stream tonight. He'll put up the phone number and contact us, and we can help you out in any sort of a transfer or anything like that you want to make, or credit card, or if you want to support a Ceilidh. Let us know. And we'd be happy to do that in honor of someone, or for a particular event or person that, in memory of them, would be honored to do that for you. Then we'll grab a fiddle. Okay, we'll end with a stress bay and some nails, I guess. Is it Howie?
Yes, sir.
Again, thanks to Howie MacDonald. Round of applause for Howie MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you support Howie and our other musicians, buying their product and such. online and download. And you're going to see this fella too, his nephew, and lots of different things this summer. I know that, including Kitchen Fest as well. I'll be reaching out to him about that, and Beverly as well. And you'll see her around Kitchen Fest. And her day job is teaching at the college as well. But your day job is a teacher as well.
D?
Sure.
Father Eugene likes the camera, got his wife again, right?
Look tired,
I broke the string.
well, I won't be playing it because my string just popped. But I'll be glad to happy to listen to you.